Okay, thank you to the one person that's here. There we go. Welcome to Key and Carry, where we key and we carry. I'm Troy. I'll be solo tonight. Well, I'm going to be running this night solo. Yon is on the clock, making the money, not letting the money make him. So shout out to that. Also, shout out to everybody that's going to watch this back on the playback. But yes, Key and Carry here with another live review for you guys. Another review slash interview. We have a very special guest for you guys tonight. The troublemaker, the problem himself, Diego from Bad Boys Club season motherfucking 8. Gemini Films Bad Boys Club season 8. I'm sorry, this damn AirPod is like literally. So that's what we're gonna do because this AirPod is literally about to drive me crazy. So let me know out there. Can y'all hear me with just the one AirPod? Um, oh my gosh. Technical difficulty. So it's looking like I might have to just put that back in because it's kind of goofy. Anyway, Bad Boys Club season 8, episodes 5 and 6. Crazy baby, that scrap. It's just a lot going on in these two episodes. Somebody got sent home. I was not expecting um a cast member to leave so soon. Also, let me know down in the comments. Let us know down in the comments how y'all felt about episodes 5 and 6. Personally, me, I said there are a lot of choosy hoes in that damn house. People, yes, okay, thank you, Mr. Pick and Plays. It's Apple always be trying to like play me with like audio equipment, so everybody can read. Thank you for that. Shout out to that. I did say it was some choosy hoes in the house. People are picking and choosing their battles. People are not really confronting the troublemakers. They're trying to sleep with the troublemakers, but don't really want to press no problems with the troublemakers, which I found so interesting. So I cannot wait to see how this plays out throughout the season. It's just a lot of choosiness going on in the goddamn house. A scrap baby, Bonnie and Diego drunk as hell. Diego came in the house like what was said, and they started thumping. Um, I was not expecting that goddamn fight. I knew Diego got into a fight, but I did not think it was gonna be with Bonnie. But crazy past two episodes. Let's just go right on ahead and bring on our special guest, Mr. Motherfucking Diego from Bad Boys Club, Gemini Films, Bad Boys Club, season 8. Diego, are you in here? Diego, where are you? No, I'm just playing. Okay, while we're waiting for Diego to join the live, let me know down in the comments how y'all felt about episodes 5 and 6. Let me know how y'all felt about that damn fight. Me, I'm like a queasy. I have a nauseous stomach, so I'm like a nauseous person. Like I don't do well with a lot of blood. So I saw that blood on the floor, and I was like, that's kind of too much for me. Like he should have went to the hospital. Diego, you should have went to the hospital. Baby, bleeding all over the floor like that. Who cleaned that up? Like who cleaned that up? Because we don't do. I'm not gonna go down there. I'm not gonna go down that road. So see if y'all was here, y'all would have stopped me right in my tracks. My goodness. Shout out to self discipline people. Shout out to motherfucking self discipline. Also, let me know in the comments can y'all still if y'all can still hear me. Cause this would be really, really bad for me to be in this bitch 4 minutes and y'all not be able to hear anything that I'm saying. Forgive me, baby. Forgive me. My bad. I'm talking about Gemini Films. I didn't even introduce the episode title. So episode 5 was Crash and Burn. The beginning of Vonnie and Diego, the cracks and like their alliance, their friendship. Yes, thank you, Shepard, for being here. Can y'all hear me? Ooh, can y'all hear me? The sound is good. Okay, thank you. Cause I was over here going through it, baby. Thank you so much. Why do y'all think Vonnie and Diego argued? They were drunk. That's all it was. Drunk boots. Misunderstanding, and they were drunk. That's how I feel. That's what I think. Also, let me know down in the comments. Why do y'all think they argued? Baby, that fight was I guess the thing that got me from episode 6 was Miss Mulatto herself. Let's talk about Miss Mulatto. Like when I said there's a lot of choosy hoes in the house, Darian. I can't wait for Diego to get in so I can ask him this question, but Diego, not Diego, I'm sorry, Darian kind of pressed Diego. And I was like, where is this coming from? Where is all this hostility and aggression coming from? Like, Diego got into a whole fight. Like, the night before. You're mad at Diego for getting into a fight the night before when the dude that you're trying to, like, smash was kind of being a bully the night before, and you didn't say anything. And you didn't kind of press him the way that you were pressing Diego. So I just found that I found it odd. I was thrown by that. I was confused because Darian was mad as hell. Like, why are you so angry? It was like, oh, telling Diego like, oh, you're picking on the right people. I'm trying to figure out what got Darian's panties in a bunch. Man was like really uptight, very very upset. Also, Alex actually throwing a little subtle slick shade in the confessionals, but really don't do anything in the house. Like Diego left and Alex is in his confessionals throwing shade. But I feel like I'm rapping. Y'all let me know how y'all felt about episodes 5 and 6. Also, let me know how y'all felt about Diego going home. Were y'all excited to see Diego leave, or do you think it was like the best move to make to send him home? Honestly, I felt like the reason they gave was kind of BS. I love Gemini films, but it talked about his protection. I mean, I kind of get like the mental health, all of that, and making sure that he's safe and he doesn't spiral. But I think there were some favorites being played with that decision. I could be wrong. That's just how I feel. But I didn't like the answer that production gave him. I feel like he needed a second chance. Like he got into one fight. So it wasn't Justice in like 2 fights, and they kept him. Justice bleeding all over the goddamn house, and they kept him in the goddamn house. So I didn't like the reason that they gave Diego or the reason that they gave to send Diego home. Just because I feel like so far Diego was the most open about like his problems, his troubles, and I feel like he was in there in the house really trying to change, and they kind of just axed that for him. So I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't like the reason that they gave to send Diego home. Ooh. Okay.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
So it's here. Welcome, Diego.
How's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you? How are you this evening? Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
That's the BGCA troublemaker, baby. You are lit, Diego. I'll live for you. I live for you. At first, I was like, "Ooh, it's kind of wild, but like you were open, you were yourself, and you were your authentic self." And I think as a viewer, I can appreciate that. Somebody who is like, I feel like the Bad Boys Club is like a learning process. So the fact that you came in and showing your flaws, and a lot of people are kind of guarded in that sense. So just you being you, I thought was dope.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I said. I mean, like I said, I went in being myself. You know what I mean? Because I wanted the viewers to see who I am for me. You know what I mean? Not be something else in there or try to hide something. I went in there like with open arms. You know, I was like, okay, this is me. This is what I do. This is my background. So people can actually relate to me. You know, on a deeper level. Like I said, on a
Yeah.
deeper level, people can relate and have a deeper connection with me than just me being messy and me being about the show. You know, so I was like, this is who I am outside in the real world. This is who I am in the show as well. It's the same person.
So could you give us like a little rundown of like what made you want to audition for like Bad Boys Club, the whole audition process, and what it was like entering the house the first day?
So yeah, I saw the flyer for the Bad Boys Club. I think it was for season 7, and I was really upset because I didn't even know that he had auditions or that he had anything. So I wanted to join. I wanted to be on season 7, but then I was like, okay, I missed the auditions. Whatever, I'm sure there'll be a next one. And season 7 popped, so I was sure they're gonna have another season. And as soon as I saw the flyer for season 8 on Instagram, I instantly applied. And then I just kept sending videos, and it was a process, it was a process. But I wanted to be in the Bad Boys Club because I think that's a show where you could show who you really are and not. Can I cuss or not? Or no?
Yeah, most
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay. You could be yourself and not give a fuck, but then you also want to grow from being a bad boy into something else. And that was around my time. You know what I mean? Like I said, before the show, I was in the army for 4 years, so I kind of was like a little more grounded. You know what I mean? I wasn't doing a lot of things, so that was kind of like my last hurrah. I was like, I'm gonna go out, one last bang. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna get crazy because pretty soon it's time to start settling down. I'm 27, so I'm like, it's time to settle down pretty soon. So,
And so we do have a comment from my homegirl Coco Butter Barbie who says, "It's good to see you, Diego. Like, it's you leaving the house. I was kind of like, oh, like not really, but it's really good to see you like in like good spirits and just be like so positive." So I kind of do want to ask you about your military experience. So was there any like similarities between like you being in the military and then you living in like the Bad Boys Club?
So it was because like I mentioned it in one of the episodes when I was talking to, I think it was D. I said that it was like, so me. I'm very now. I like to have my own space. I like to live on my own. Because I've been on my own for a long time. Like I own my house, so I live by myself, just me and my partner, and our boyfriend stays with us here and there. But the similarities was that I was back to living with a bunch of dudes. We had to, like, you know what I mean, see each other all day, and then just be together all day, and that kind of triggered something. I was like, okay, I didn't want to go through this again. Being in the army, and I was in OSA training for about 6 to 7 months, and I was like, I don't want to live with guys ever again. More than a lot, like a group. And being back in there, it was intense. You know what I mean? I had to be with all these other guys, and again, we all had something similar. We all had like really bad attitudes at times. You know what I mean? We're all in there for a reason. So imagine living with like 7 personalities where we're all different, but we all have kind of the same like bad boy in us.
Okay. So, like, when you were in the military, you being like a part of the LGBTQ like community, did you ever face or witness any like homophobia or like any crazy shit like that?
You know what though? I was honestly, I always say this. I was lucky because when I went to basic training in Fort Benning, I was the only openly male in my whole unit. We had no females or nothing because my job was a combat job, so it was pretty intense. You know what I mean? It was one of those jobs that only certain people make it through.
Okay.
So we didn't have any females, and I was the only openly male gay there at the time. You know what I mean? I wasn't able to talk about it during the time because again, like half those people I was never gonna see again, and I was not gonna communicate with those people. So I kind of like just kept it low key during some of the times. A lot of my close friends knew about it, and once family day came along, and then they had all the spouses and the wives go to like a certain room. My husband told me he was the only male in there. So if anything, he felt more out of place. You know what I mean? When I went to my first unit, I showed up and they asked us, we did personal formation, and they asked who's married. And then I remember me and a couple guys raised our hand, and he was like, "Well, where's your wife's at? Are they here yet?" And I was like, "My husband." I wanted to set it straight from the get. You know what I mean? No, there's no miscommunication. There's nothing. And I never really got any hate, to be honest. I never got anybody talking down on me or anybody saying anything bad. Like I said, I was
Okay.
lucky because I also worked harder than a lot of the guys I was with. I worked super hard. So a lot of the higher ups liked me. They like working with me because I've always been a hard worker. I didn't put any butts. I was never a whiner. So, I would have had it tough, I think, if I would have been more of a whiner and complainer.
Yeah,
I think I would have had it
definitely.
tougher.
So I do want to ask you. You're pretty wild, like a party boy. So I want to ask, what was your daily life like when you were on active duty? Were you as turned as you were like when you were in the house, or?
Oh, so on the weekends, yes. I'm not gonna lie, I was, because I was stationed super close to Austin, in a big base, super close to Austin.
Okay.
So every weekend I was in Austin. On 4 days, when we had like 4 days off, we would go to like South Padre Island. We would go to Galveston. I've been partying since I've been like 15. So, it's, like I said, people who watch the show, my old friends, like from high school, they'd be like, yeah, that's definitely you. You know what I mean? You're not putting on for a show. That's really who you are.
Okay, we love a good time. We love a party boy. So like, are you originally from that? Like, were you born and raised in Dallas, Texas?
No. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, actually.
Okay. Ooh, so what's Albuquerque, New Mexico like? When I think of New Mexico, I just think of like desert.
Yeah. Well, Albuquerque is the biggest city in New Mexico. It's not that bad. It's I'd say it's way smaller than Dallas, kind of a little bigger than where I'm at now. But there's not much to do. I mean, we have mountains, we have hiking trails, but we have no water. Like the closest beach, or not beach, the closest lake is probably about 3 hours away, and it's dry lake, like this big, and no trees around, no green. It's So when I got stationed in Texas, I decided to buy a house here because I love Texas, and I'm in Central Texas, so I'm in between like all the big cities. So I'm like, I could go anywhere I want, I decided to stay. Yeah.
Okay, speaking of you, traveling, being able to go anywhere that you want, baby, I have a question since episode 1 that's just been. So how long have you been like, I guess, attracted to like correct me if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm saying this wrong, the polyamorous like relationships?
Yeah.
So,
shit, that's recent. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's recent. Maybe a few years back. Maybe 2 years back, I think. It's like I said, like one thing led to another. You know what I mean?
okay.
It kind of just happened. Like I was a jealous type. Like when I read these comments, like, "Oh, Diego has a poly," I could never. I'm so jealous. Blah blah. I see them and I'm like, that was me. So y'all should never say never because that was me. I was jealous. Like I was psycho jealous. Like he couldn't look at anybody or nothing. And then, that was me. So I tell everybody, never say never because that could be you next.
So how is it difficult to kind of balance like 2 other like personalities, 2 other moods, like 2 other energies? Like,
Yes.
how do you find that balance to kind of like not go crazy yourself?
It is. It's kind of, well, me and my husband are more alike. We
Okay.
have more of the same type of like attitude. We like to go out a little more. Our boyfriend's a little older than us, so he's a little more calm. He's the one that keeps us balanced actually. But it is kind of difficult at times because you talk to one different than you talk to the other one. You can't say certain things to one that you said to the other because they're different people. So they have different moods. They have different, everything. So it's, you gotta adjust. It's just time. It's just time. You gotta adjust.
Baby, you got a husband and a side dude. You lit. Okay. I'm not mad at that, Diego. You are lit. Like from the time you enter the house, so let's kind of shift gears to like you being in the house, like you enter in the house, you kind of like meeting the guys. I've been wanting to ask, do you feel like if you entered the house maybe last or maybe in the middle, do you think you would have been like less turned up, maybe not as drunk as you were being like the first answer?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. I don't know how that would have played out because the dynamic would have been completely different. First of all, I don't know what room I would have been in.
Right.
So, as you can see, like all of us from the rooms we were in, it's kind of like the people we kind of like stuck to in a way. You know what I mean? So I don't know who I would have been rooming with. I don't know. I would have still been late. Like as soon as I walked in the door, I would have still been taking shots. I would have still been turning up. So that first day though is like a blur. When I watched it, I was like, what? I was like, what happened? Because I was the first guy there, and then Jacob was second, but there was gaps in between. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's edited, so there's a lot of gaps in between. And I was slamming shots like back to back to back to back. It wasn't like, oh, just one when every guy walked in. I was still slamming in between, like the guys walking in. Not to mention, I had 2 Four Locos, not just one that day. I had 2. I had 2 Four Locos, and then Jacob had Hennessy. So me and him bottled that Hennessy, and then I had Malibu, and then I was drinking beers. So
yeah. Did y'all go out that night?
We did. We went out that was the first time I went to the club. The only Justice stated.
Met Bonnie. Okay, I do remember. Now that I'm remembering, you guys met Bonnie in the club. So do you remember anything from like meeting Bonnie the first night? Anything from the club?
Oh gosh, no. When I was doing my green screen confession, I didn't tell the production. I was like, "Can you run down what happened?" Because I don't remember. They were like, "Diego." I was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry."
So like entering the house.
You know what? Hold on. Before I forget, I want to add a comment to. I've been watching y'all's reviews. So, you guys made a comment about me being naked on the first episode, right? You guys said I was spoiled. So no. Let me clear this out. So that comes actually from the Army. Being comfortable naked around guys is natural to me because of the Army. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's why it was like I'm comfortable. But I was like, I can't expect these guys to do that. You know what I mean? Like,
naked in the jacuzzi. I said, well, he's living, baby, bad boy.
But I was not spoiled. I mean, I wish I had been spoiled, but I'm not spoiled.
Okay, because you was giving just a little bit of Kristen from BDC 5.
A little bit, okay. No.
Just a little bit. But I was like, okay. So, like, entering the house, what were some of the things that you were kind of hoping to, like, get out of the Bad Boys Club? Like, were you looking to kind of have better communication with like other guys or build better, I guess, friendships with other dudes?
Yeah, that was my biggest thing. Like out here in my life over here, I have maybe about 2 or 3 gay friends. That's it. You know, all my friends have always been straight and different. So I wanted to go in there and try to be friends with more gay people. I wanted to be, you know, just open up, like I said, in my bubble and be friends with a lot of more gay people. I wanted to know their backstories, I want to know how they came out to their parents. I just want to get to know the guys. And I feel like the way I was turned all the time and the way I was like coming at the guys, it just didn't happen. You know what I mean? Which I'm low-key kind of sad about because I actually wanted to get to know the guys deeper and stay in the house longer so they can, like, you know, see a different side of me and just get to know them. And yeah, I did want to become friends with them out of the house as well, you know?
So do you still communicate with anyone from the house?
I try to mostly. Well, I talk to Justice and D a lot.
D. Okay, Darius.
Yeah, Darius and Justice. Mostly
okay.
Justice more. Bonnie here and there. Darian here and there. Jacob and Alex again here and there, you know. But mostly I try to stay in touch with everybody. I try to check up on them. Like, hey, are you guys good? How are you guys doing? You know.
Okay, so speaking of Darian and Alex, so when you left the house, which still kind of just crushed my heart, they were being shady, throwing mad shade, especially Alex.
I know. I saw that.
How did you feel about that?
I don't know, because Darian, he didn't. What did he say? Oh, he's like, you're pushing 30 or something like that. Yeah, I was like, it doesn't matter what age you are. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 27. You're only a couple years younger than me. It shouldn't matter. Like, if I'm older or not. I still have we all have issues. You know what I mean? We're all here for a reason. And he never told me that at the house. At the house, he was always nice to me. You know, he was always a good person. I always saw Darian as a really great person, actually. You know, I was like, he's one of the more mature guys of the house. And when I saw that clip, I was like, what? I was confused. I was like, really? Alex, me and Alex we never really talked. You know, we would party together and here and there, but we never really spoke a lot. We didn't have much in common, so we never really talked much. So I wasn't surprised. I was really not surprised, you know, with Alex.
That was kind of going to be my next question to you. Were you surprised
at
the shade from Alex? Okay. Mm-mm. So, like, let's talk about these goddamn fights. Like, so the first fight of the goddamn season was Justice and D.
Justice and D, yeah.
Correct. Do you remember? You said you were drunk, so you don't remember that fight.
No, I guess the first fight from the what I saw on the clips, I was in the room. Their first round, I was in the bed,
Okay.
or I was showering. One of the two, I don't remember. They fought, yeah, and then the second round, I think I was in the couch, but like
Damn.
I was all over the place. So I was just like, what? What's going on?
So we have a question from one of our viewers. Shout out to Pick and Plays. First of all, shout out to everybody that's watching. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Pick and Plays asks, was Alex as talkative like he is in the confessional?
No, Alex was quiet. Alex was super quiet. We had like
Mm.
whenever I wanted to speak to him, I had to go up to him and start conversations. I didn't want to get to know Alex. Like I said, I wanted to get to know everybody. You know what I mean? So I try to have individual conversations with everybody, like even off camera, so I could get to know the guys and see where they're coming from, see their backgrounds. And me and Alex never really talked. I had to go to his room and knock and like, hey, how you doing? But it was so hard to get words out of Alex.
Do you think that was kind of like? Do you think he had like an issue with you? Was he like kind of friendly to everybody else and maybe kind of went out of his way to like not speak to you or acknowledge you?
No, I think he was. That's how he is. I believe that's how Alex is. You know what I mean? And I think Karan did good with the castmates because we can't have a bunch of loud ones. We can't have, he did a good with the
Right.
mixture. He did. He was closer to the other guys, which were like I think Darian and Jacob. So he talked more to them. Because if you see on one of the clips, Jacob tells me he's opening up to us, talking to us. It was just how like the diversity of like how when we went to lunch, they went one way and then I went with with Justice and Bonnie, and then the other
Okay.
four. I believe if I would have been in the other group and one of them would have been over here, I would have probably got to know him a little more. But no, honestly, that's just how Alex is. Alex is quiet. He really is. In person, he really is quiet.
Okay. So the next fight would be the round 2 of Darius and Justice.
Mm-hmm.
The next fight, Justice versus goddamn Alex. Now, who concocted the whole let's push this bitch out the house? Was that Vonnie?
They were talking. Well, no, they had different ideas. Like we were just talking about like what was that conversation? Like we were in the restaurant. I think they asked like who do you guys think should go or whatever, and that's when they started talking about it. Like I think Justice said, I'm not feeling Alex. He's not giving us much energy. He's not talking to us. He's not communicating. And Vonnie came up with the idea with the note. I think he wrote yeah, he did write down. He wrote the note. We went to the house and wrote the note. I said, and it was cut off. I said, I'm gonna give him a fair chance because day one I was fucked up, and I believe now people are trying to give me a solid chance. You know what I mean? It wasn't that I was scared. It wasn't that I wanted to be a fake or a two-face. It's that I'm my own person. I don't have to follow anybody around. If I want to give everybody a chance, I'm gonna give everybody a chance. And that's what I did. And later on, you hear me in the truck saying, "Guys, we should all give him a fair chance tonight. See if he loosens up a little more, and then we'll go from there." And that night when we had the game night, he did loosen up. He did talk. That's why I said, "Hey, Alex did give. Like, he did." But it's just the guys weren't having it. You know what I mean? They just didn't. They felt like he needed to give more. But like I said, he's quiet. He's quiet in person, so I felt like he was giving. I felt like he was trying to communicate and talk and have fun with us.
Okay. So I did want to ask you about the game night. Like before you left, do you have like a favorite like a night or like a moment or an outing where like all of you like all of the guys y'all were like bonding and like getting along?
What do you mean?
Like was there ever a time where y'all kind of just other than I guess like the game night, was there ever a time where y'all just kind of hung out without there being like tension or
No,
hostility?
no, that night was fun. That night was great. Like we had a blast. We were doing all these like random dares, these crazy dares and stuff. It was fun. There wasn't that moment. I felt there was no type of tension between anybody at that moment. We were
Okay.
having a good time. We let all the drama go to have a great time that night.
How long were you in the house?
It was 4 to 5 days.
Okay.
So it was like, yeah, 4 because I got there on Wednesday and I left on a Sunday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, like 4 to 5 days.
Wow,
It seemed like forever.
it's like what like 5 episodes in, 6 episodes in. So
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
you were there for like maybe 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. I didn't know that you were
That was
there for.
I gave a lot of footage, so you know that had
Yeah,
to
I was just gonna say
episode.
they captured a lot in fucking 5 days. So the Diego, I want to ask you, how do you feel about like the topic of like your drinking kind of being used as like a kind of like a way to push you out of the house?
Um, that's tough. I guess it was needed. You know what I mean? I guess I see both point of views. I didn't want to stay because I was there to change, and I feel like that the time they gave me was not. You know, I wanted I wanted to like around that time, like after the fight with Bonnie, everything. Like, okay, like I am doing too much. Like I'm ready. I've been here naked. I'm fighting. I'm sloppy. I want to try to show a different side of me to see if I can. You know what I mean? I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
try. And it wasn't. They just told me like you gotta go because of this, and that. So I felt like they could have given me a little more of a chance. You know what I mean? A little more.
I
But
agree.
I see production side of you. They wanted to protect everybody and protect me because I don't know how I could have snapped later on throughout the episodes. You know, I do have anger issues. Like I mentioned, I have anger issues. I do have anxiety. You know what I mean? And the drinking is just. I've always liked to drink a lot, and like I said, it goes both ways. Like I have a great time or a super like intense shitty time. So you know, I was trying to keep it on the positive side all the time, but I was a little crazy. I like that they used it because now I'm getting a lot of messages on Instagram from people who are like watching. They're like, "We admire you because thanks to you." Like I got a really powerful message today from this lady. You know, I'm gonna keep it anonymous, but she said that by her watching me, that she's realizing that she also needs help and that she wants to talk to me because she wants to know how I've kept it together for so many years. You know, how I'm no matter what I'm going through, I still have all my shit together. You know, yeah, I'm a little crazy, I'm a little wild, but at the end of the day, I keep my jobs. You know, I keep my bills paid. I have my house, my vehicles paid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so again, I have my issues, but I'm also responsible. You know,
Right.
and that's
Right.
what
I feel.
that's what she was asking me. She was like, "How do you do all this?" Like, she was trying to talk to me and try to give her advice. You know.
Hey, shout out to that Diego. We stand mature bad boys. We stand growth and we stand self reflection. Like in a way, that's kind of what these shows are like about being
Right.
relatable and like an audience kind of being able to connect with like these personalities on like some sort of level. So the fact that you came on being raw and vulnerable and like people are like, I can relate to this person. Like I'm going through something that this person's going through.
Mm-hmm.
I think is super dope.
And you know
Like
what? Like I mentioned, like I was shocked because a couple of days after I left, I was sure, I was 100% sure I was gonna be like the most hated castmate. You know what I mean? I thought the viewers were not gonna like me because I was extra, because I was intense, I was doing this. But you know what? Believe it or not, like 80% of the viewers that watch, they like me.
mm-hmm.
All the comments I was reading, they like me. They're like, "Oh, Diego's this, Diego's entertaining, Diego's fun, Diego's not boring, Diego's giving, Diego's." And then they also saw the good side of me, like Diego. He's a good person at heart. He's wild and crazy, but if you get to know him, he's a good person. You know.
Yes, I see that too. Like the first episode, you came in where I was like, wow, he's lit as fuck. But over time, and you kind of start to calm down, I could like see like that you genuinely are like a good person, that you care about people. Like even the whole situation with Vonnie Justice kind of like tag team Alex, the fact that you went to Vonnie and was like you dapping him up was kind of weird. You know, you stood on
Mm-hmm.
what you stood 10 toes down on how you felt. And I feel like a lot of people so far in the house, it seems like they haven't really been able to muster the courage to speak for themselves, or if they are speaking for themselves, they're speaking for somebody else. Which we're gonna talk about that later on because there's a lot of Captain Save hoes in that house. Anyway, Diego, I did want to ask, like, how can I phrase this question? So, you leaving the house, how long did it take you to kind of like decompress and realize like you were in like a safe space?
So instantly, I think like leaving the house in a safe space, like mentally, you mean, or what do you mean?
Yeah, like mentally, like
So
that you
no,
felt like
actually,
you're safe.
I realized that in the house because again, there was a whole day where we did the photo shoot, and then that whole day
Okay.
we weren't really filming. So we were all kind of doing our own thing, you know, getting ready. Some guys went to go eat. That day, I was thinking a lot. I was like, if I keep this up, I am gonna end up leaving the house. You know, I worked hard to get here. I want to be here. I deserve to be here. I am a bad boy. You know what I mean? I deserve to be here. So I was like, I need to calm down and get my thoughts together. So I took the whole day to just kind of, I stuck to myself that whole day. I was just sitting on the couch, realizing that like I'm doing too much. Half these guys don't like me. I know they don't. You know what I mean? They're cool with me, but that doesn't mean they like me. They're not trying to give me a fair chance. They're doing them, and I feel like I'm doing me. So I'm like, what am I doing? And then when I left the house, driving to the house, I was like, that's when I realized, okay, I have all these issues, like all these anxiety, anger issues that I really got to work on. You know what I mean? I don't want to push my real friends who are on the real world, or even my partners or family members that I really care about, away because of these issues. Which I have. I push friends away because of the way I am. I'm not gonna lie. I don't. There's some family members I don't even talk to. But then again, like, it's not just me. It's just I'm very explosive. I'm very, very calm, but at the same time, once you piss me off, it's like I see red.
Baby, I'm glad you brought that up, because describe with Bonnie. I said you came in the house lit. Like, you came in the house like, what was said, baby? That was smooth. You was drunk as hell, but you came in the house like, what was said? The fact that, I mean, I hate that y'all fought. I want to say, like, I feel like violence should kind of be like, the final resolution or whatever, because I feel like y'all reviving. But baby, you came in, y'all thumped, and like, so it's crazy because I thought that the other boys were home.
Oh no!
But they just were like outside during like the fight. I didn't know that they were, I guess, not there when y'all. So what was the vibe like after you and Bonnie? So okay, let me backtrack. I'm sorry. What was the vibe like walking into the house and you saw Bonnie? Like, walking up to him to fight, what were you thinking? How were you feeling?
That night we were at the club, and as you can see, oh my god, that night I had a recap because I remember shit. I think I drank more that night than I did the first night, to be honest.
Damn.
And a lot of it is cut off because it was us having fun in the kitchen. It was me, Darian, and Jacob first. Everybody else was like asleep or they went out to go eat. It was just us three. And then Darian came in with the bottle of whiskey. It was a Buchanan bottle. So we were taking shots of whiskey. And then once the other guys started showing up in the house, I went to the store, and I remember before that I went to the store and I had already bought liquor since the morning. I had my beers there, and I had bought Trulies and Bud Lights and other shit too, And they brought with the bottle, and as the guys were coming in, they were bringing more alcohol. So we were slamming shots, right? And then we were playing games. I was shotgunning beers, chugging them. You see me chugging a lot. So that day I had way more than the first night. I also had a Four Loko again that day. There's a small clip of me dancing with like 2 drinks. I don't know. That one of them was a Four Loko, and then I didn't remember doing that. So at the club, all those things I don't remember what the fuck happened. Like, even after the fight, me and Bonnie talked, and we're like, why did we fight? It was miscommunication. He heard I wanted 30 seconds, and I heard he wanted 30 seconds. That's why if you hear the conversation that we have, like, as that we're fighting, I'm telling him, you wanted to fight for no fucking reason. And then after that, he said, you wanted 30. And I was like, no, you wanted 30. So we never really found out where the fuck those 30 seconds came from.
I could probably tell you where it came from, but I ain't gonna do that.
So and me and Bonnie had that disagreement before where he dabbed Dallas and said, you did your big one, blah, blah. Remember that night? That was a couple of nights before. We had our disagreements from then, you know what I mean? But other than that, me and Bonnie were pretty cool in the house, I was trying to give everybody a chance. I'm gonna be honest with you, it was me battling my demons. I've been an outcast a lot of times, you know what I mean? I don't fit in with a lot of gay people. And it's not to bash gay people. I'm gay, so I don't bash gay people, but I just, whenever I get gay friends, we have not a lot of things in common, and I end up like not being friends with them, you know what I mean? Because we don't have a lot of things in common, I stopped getting invited out because our vibes are different, or because that's why I feel like that outcast in the house a lot, because the guys would all go out to eat, and I was like, well, can I go with y'all? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Or they would be talking in the room, and I'll try to force myself in the conversation. Again, not to be a kiss ass, not because I was scared, but because I wanted friends. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to grow and actually have gay friends. And considering that we're all bad boys, I wanted to see everybody's backgrounds and see how I could relate to them. But then it was a lot of me, like, yeah, they did give me a fair chance here and there, but I also felt like I had to, like, a lot of times force myself, to talk to the guys and be like, hey guys, like, this and that. So that's how come I felt like the outcast. And they would tell me, Diego, it's just you and your inner demons that are, that you feel like that. And sometimes, yeah, because they would go eat, and I was like, well, I didn't get invited. You know what I mean? Like, how come I didn't get invited to go eat? when I could have easily just grabbed my own truck and gone with them. You know what I mean? I just wanted to feel welcome. You know, I was like,
Right.
that was it. It was just again me, my demons. That I was like, they're pushing me out. They don't want to be my friends. They don't want to do this because of history that I've had. You know.
So let's get through some comments or go through some comments because a lot of the comments are in favor of you right now, Diego. You have a lot of like. Shout out to the girl Spicy Original. The girl Spicy Original is in the building. Diego, again, I want to thank you for like just your vulnerability, your rawness. There have been like bad boys who have came in and opened up about like trauma or like some type of like difficulties that they faced or whatever. But I think for you to like literally just bear like, baby, this is me and I like to drink. I think that takes guts because you're being
another. I want to add to that. So I have minimized my drinking though since the show. I have minimized.
Okay, that's great.
I still go out. I still go out. I still like to party. I'm in my 20s still, of course. You know what I mean? But I have minimized a lot. You know, I drink maybe like 3 times a month now. You know, I choose my weekends. I'm like, okay, this weekend is gonna be this event. That's when I'm gonna drink. I socially drink here and like I want to have a beer at the house. I'm in my pool having a beer, whatever.
Okay.
But to the point of like how I was drinking in the house is probably about once or twice a month now. You know.
Okay, shout out to that. Because that is
and with people I trust, with people that I know they're gonna, be there for me at the end of the
day. Yeah. Okay. Did you feel like you had that in the house, like whenever you would get like super like drunk or blacked out?
Of course not. We don't know each other. You know what I mean? So I can't expect the guys to. I can't expect them to be there fully for me or something. It's just we're all grown men. Like we're all grown men, and they didn't have to take care of me. I didn't have to take care of anybody. I never felt like I was safe with them, you know what I mean? Not like I wasn't unsafe, but I knew I had to take care of myself,
So is there like, I guess other than maybe like, is there anything that you wish you could do differently? Like if you got the chance to do season 8 over?
Honestly, no. You know why though? Because I learned a lot from it. Like people are like, how do you just learn so much in like a week? You do. Because you see these clips and you see how you were acting and stuff and you're like, okay, you know what I mean? You gotta tone it down a little bit. So honestly, it all happened for a reason. It's all, again, I went in there open arms. I went in there telling everybody how I am and who I am outside and in there because I want people to actually know who I am, not someone else on the show. And people that really know me are like, that's not who you are in person. So I went in there being who I am for real,
Shout out to that. We appreciate authenticity. Like, there's nothing better than being like your fucking self. So, reunion. When are you guys filming the reunion? Are you excited about the reunion? I'm excited to see everybody.
I am excited, and no, I don't know the date yet. We don't know, but I'm super excited. Of course, I'm gonna go, but I don't know the dates or nothing yet.
Do you see do you have any predictions on who's gonna fight at this reunion?
I don't know what shit changes every day, so I don't. It's kind of hard to keep up, Again, I have a busy life too, so it's kind of hard to keep up with like a lot of things on there. I don't know what's gonna happen. I have no idea.
I'm looking forward to this reunion because a lot has happened in like these 6 episodes. I can't say versus like last season as good as last season was or season 7 was. The beefs that season literally was like within the first goddamn hour.
Well, season 7 was kind of like they had the clicks from the beginning, and they stuck with the clicks all the way through the reunion. Our season though is like up and down. Guys who were friends in the house aren't friends anymore. Guys who were not friends in the house are friends now. Even throughout the episodes, you see you're like, friends are like friends form, and then friends like they break up, and then it's hard to keep up with everybody. So I don't even know what's gonna happen at the reunion.
Sounds like Bad Girls Club season 7, where everybody was friends one week and then falling off the next fucking week. Crazy. So, Diego, before I let you go for the evening, is there anything that you want to plug, or is there anything that you want to share to the audience, or?
Yeah, so I do want to make it clear that like I'm doing really good. So, because I'm getting a lot of messages like, I hope you're doing good, and again, it was a show. At the end of the day, it's a show. You know what I mean? It was also like a mini vacation as well. Like I said, I'm here to grow and have fun at the same time. See if I could do that. See if I can have a good balance. So I'm doing really good. I'm doing better. You know, I learned how to like meditate, how to do certain things when I get angry. So I'm coping with all that stuff. You know, I'm getting better. I have not been in a fight since the show, so that's been good.
So all of this, like, all of the positive things that you've kind of just been taking in, do you see yourself kind of taking that all in and kind of pouring it back out, becoming maybe like a life coach or like a counselor or a therapist or something?
That would be nice. You know what I mean? That would be nice, but I'm definitely not ready for that. You know what I mean? Again, I'm still dealing with all my shit. So maybe in my 30s, I would probably be like some type of life coach or something. But right now, I'm still trying to figure shit out. So I can't give advice just yet because I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing in my life just yet. You know what I mean?
And yes, we appreciate that. Okay. Yes, we definitely appreciate that. Diego, thank you so much for your time and doing this interview with me. Baby, thank you for auditioning for season 8 and giving us like everything that you gave us. Between you and Bonnie, I say that so far y'all are like the stars of the show. Like y'all have been nothing but like personality and just like character. So like y'all are carrying the show right now. So thank you for, you know, just being your authentic self.
Yeah, thank you so much. I watch y'all's reviews just so you know. You know, I watch all your I follow you guys.
Thank you so much. Like we really appreciate it. Like we really appreciate like all the love and like support that we get in the community. We try to pour it back out as much as we can. So like just thank you
you guys for having me. I
just being dope.
I appreciate you guys listening to me, listening to my side, and you know, seeing the different Diego that's sober today.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you again, Diego. Like I really had a great time interviewing you. I hope you have like a great night.
Thank you so much. Of course, you too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye, Diego. Yes, everybody. Diego for the 1 and 2. Diego, Gemini Films, Bad Boys Club season 8. You know, I always have to put that distinction. It's Gemini Films, Bad Boys Club, and not that other Bad Boys Club or whatever. So thank you to everybody that came through. Thank you to everybody that was in the comments. The girl Spicy Original, thank you for coming through. Bree Can, thank you for being here. A new face, a new viewer. Shahidis, thank you for coming through. Everybody that came through, everybody that watched, thank you so much. Catch us again this Friday, Saturday. I'm sorry. We'll be reviewing Chasing Dallas Part 2. The reunion Part 2. I'm sorry. So be on the lookout for that. But thank you to everybody that came through. I hope you guys have a good night. This has been Key and Carrie, where we Key and Carrie. I'm Sheree. And see you guys in the next one. Peace.